In this video we're going to take a look at some more of Excel's filtering features. What we're going to look at this time is filtering on a column of numbers. The only two number columns we have here are the credits and the ID number, and we're going to be doing some filtering on the credits column. So what I have here is a database made up of students. Each row has some information for a specific student, and we have the number of credits or semester hours that each student has. And we're going to do some filtering, see if we can pick out some groups of students. So the first group of students I want to look at is the freshmen. So we're doing filtering. It's a database feature of Excel, so it's on the Data tab. And click on the Filter button. All you have to do is make sure the cursor is in the data someplace before you click on Filter. And when the Filter button is clicked on, we get these drop-down arrows next to each one of the column headings. And the column I want to filter on is the credits column. And I want freshmen, and freshmen are students with fewer than 30 credits. Now, if you look down here, there's only a few numbers that are less than 30. I mean, what you could do is you could go down here and you could check them off. But if you're looking for a range of numbers rather than specific values, you really shouldn't do it that way. What you should do instead is you should apply one of these number filters, and we've got a bunch of built-in ones here, and a freshman is somebody with less than 30 credits, so I'm going to choose less than. And when the dialog box comes up, all I have to do is put the number 30 in here, and it's got room for two rules, but we only need one, so basically it just disregards this rule. And click on OK, and those are my freshmen. Down at the bottom here it tells me I found 3 of them, and there's a little funnel here telling me that a filter is applied on the credits column, and I've got blue numbers over here and some of the numbers are missing. So there's a number of clues that I have telling me that a filter is being turned on. So that's how I would get the freshmen. If I want to clear that filter, just click on the down arrow again and choose clear filter from credits, and we're back to our original data. Let's try another group of students. Let's try the freshmen. A freshman is somebody with 90 credits or more. So let's click on the down arrow here, and again, we're not going to check them off when we're doing numbers. We're going to do rules instead. So I want somebody that has 90 or more, so I got to make sure I use greater than or equal to, not greater than. And 90 is the first value for seniors, so type that in, click on OK, and it looks like we have 8 out of 43 students in this particular database are seniors. And notice there are actually 4 of them in here that have exactly 90 credits. These students would not have shown up if I had said greater than 90, so you got to be careful. Probably the most common mistake when you're doing this stuff is to miss one of the endpoints or include an endpoint that you shouldn't include. So be careful when you're choosing greater than versus greater than or equal, and less than versus less than or equal. Okay, let's turn this off and go back to all of our original data. And now we're going to do one that's a little more interesting. We're going to do sophomores. A sophomore is somebody that has 30 credits or more and less than 60. So we've got 2 rules here. So let's go to number filters, and we are going to look at a custom filter here. And a custom filter lets us apply 2 rules connected by the word and or the word or. And I want greater than or equal to, just type in the 30, and then click on the down arrow here, and I want less than 60. Okay, so I got to use the or equal to up here, but just less than down here. Click on OK, and looks like we've got quite a few sophomores. If you look down the lower left hand corner, it tells us there's 22. And there's also a little green line here. You can disregard that line if you ever see it. On older versions of Excel, it showed up as a heavier black line, and all that is that's where the cursor happened to be when you applied the filter, so it's no big deal. So all of these numbers here should be 30 or more, but they should also be less than 60, and we can check that a little more easily here if we just sort these. So on the low end we've got 30, on the high end we've got 57. And so everybody in here is within the desired range. Okay, let's go and turn that filter off, and let's go take a look at another option here. if I do number filters, one of the options in Excel is between. And between, I think in normal everyday English would not include the endpoints, but in Excel it does. So if I say greater than or equal to 30 and less than or equal to 60, it's going to include the 60s in there, and I'll end up getting a few that I don't want. Well, I guess it didn't. With the particular data I've got, there is nobody with exactly 60 credits, but if there was, they would have been included, and that is not what I want. So if you choose between, you can go ahead and do that, but you may want to change the greater than or equal to on the low end to greater than. You might want to change the less than or equal to on this end to just less than. There's actually two ways I can do this. I can say less than 60, and that will work, or I could say less than or equal to 59. And this will work provided that all of the data in here is whole numbers. If it's possible for somebody to have a fraction of a credit here, like 59.5, then this method is not going to work. So you need to understand your data when you're applying these rules. And personally, I would prefer saying less than 60. And that way, if we ever do have any numbers in there that would be between 59 and 60, we would still include those. Okay, we'll take a look at some other features of Excel filtering on columns of numbers in another video.